We have Southern Miss head coach Doc Sadler, along with student athletes Tyree Griffin and Ladavius Drain. The Golden Eagles, with their victory, have advanced to the semifinals to play number 2 seed WKU tomorrow, and we will begin with an opening statement from Coach.
Well, first of all, I mean, that may have been the best basketball game I've been involved with in the 5 years that I've been at Southern Miss. I thought both teams played as good as, I mean, you could tell both teams had a lot of seniors on the floor. And it was just a game that, as I've said all year long, if it comes down to a tight ball game, there's nobody, not just in this conference, in the country, that I would rather have the ball in this guy's hands. And if we can get that dude a shot, then we want to get him a shot. But I thought there was a couple of big plays. Dominique got a drive, and Cortez got a drive. And that got us to an 8-point lead. And that was maybe a little bit different. And then, unfortunately for them, you know, Elmore falls he misses a wide-open layup, and then he falls on another one. But that's because these guys pressured him all night long. So, great game. Great game. Give both teams credit. And, you know, just glad that we found a way in the last 3 minutes to win the game.
Questions for our student athletes?
Tyree, when they're shooting the ball like that with the 3-point game that they had, how do you guys are able to respond every single time with that?
Well, I just try to keep my guys together and just tell them to keep their head up. Like, threes ain't gonna beat us. Like Coach always tell us that they can make how many threes they want, but if they hitting threes and getting into the lane, then we're gonna have a problem. So we was just trying to keep the ball out the lane.
But Davies, you guys dominated them on the boards, and some of that is their style of play. But talk a little bit about why you guys were so successful in rebounds with a plus 19 advantage on the boards.
Coach always say, box out, don't give up second chance points, and that's what we did. We group rebounded, and that's how we out-rebounded them.
Tyree, talk about a little bit about the runs. You guys, it was a tight game most of the second half. You guys got a little bit of a run there late to take the lead. When did you know that you guys were kind of putting a little pressure on them and forcing them into making some mistakes?
We was just trying to get the game down, like to the last 4 minutes, but we started to play a little bit the defense a little bit harder, and we made shots down the stretch, and that's how we got the lead.
All right, at this point, we'll let our student athletes get back to the locker room, and we will continue with questions for Coach.
Coach, you and Coach had a little colorful conversation along the sideline during one of those timeouts. Tell us a little bit about that conversation.
I ask you, why in the heck are you doing this? He doesn't have to. I don't have no idea why somebody does this at his age. And you can quote that, his age. But, no, I mean, guys, it's fun. I mean, Dan, what a great coach. And they're so hard to defend. And, you know, every now and then you need to laugh during a ball game because it's just every possession in that game was tough. And, you know, there's nobody that I like competing against more than him because I do think we're one of the better defensive teams. And if you look at everything that we've done this year, I think you see that. And there's no question that he's probably the toughest team there is to guard. So for a coach, it's fun as heck competing against him. And believe me, he's got the better of me more than I have him.
In the back.
Coach, when you're joking around with North Texas's coach, part of that has to be the confidence you have with your team right now.
Well, let's don't get totally confused, guys. There was a few minutes there that there was an issue or something with the clock. So, you know, yeah, it is. But, you know, I mean, I talk to a lot of guys. Some guys will talk back to you and some won't, and Dan will. But I do have I have as much confidence in this basketball team as any coach could have. I mean, you got, in my opinion, the best point guard in the league. You've got Cortez Edwards, who's one of the best players in the league. Drain is one of the best shooters, and then we got some very, very good complementary players. And they all, none of them care who is the guy getting it done. And that's why I think this team has had some success.
Coach, talk a little bit about the quick turnaround and the difference in styles that you got to face from what you faced tonight and then going back and playing an afternoon game tomorrow against a totally different style.
Much more physical team. And, you know, Tim Rowe didn't get but about 2 minutes tonight, but he's going to get all he wants tomorrow, obviously. That's going to help us some. You know, the thing that concerns me a little bit is obviously three-point shooting. And so as I told the team before I came down here, a lot of the guys that didn't play tonight's got to play in the first half tomorrow. We got to get them in the game. We can't get down the last 6 or 7 minutes with guys having played 30 minutes. So we're going to play a lot of guys, try to stay as fresh as we can, and hopefully it pays off for us.
Coach, you guys got to play Western Kentucky again. Kind of seems like they've had your number. What has to be different for this upcoming game?
Well, yeah, I mean, they've won, but it's 2 great games. I mean, we had a shot to beat them at our place, and they hit a huge 3 with 40 seconds to go at their place. So we can play with those guys. I mean, but Rick's team's really good, and they got the guy down low that you have to account for. And in the last ball game, I think they hit 14 threes because we had to account for him in there. You know, and I just for us to win and them hit 17 threes is crazy. But that's the way I believe. And tomorrow, they played 2, so they got to make some threes. Last game they made 14, and hopefully we're going to continue to guard that lane and do the things that we do. And if it's good enough, then it'll be good enough. But our guys will be looking forward to playing against them. They're a good team.
You had it's been a little bit of a tale 2 seasons for you guys. Why have you guys had much more success of late than you did earlier in the season?
Well, I think more than anything, if you really study our schedule, I mean, our schedule from November till January was really tough. And I know people don't like to say this. Right now, it is very difficult for not this league, any league at this level, to get double bids. And so you're going to see our schedule next year even tougher than this year. So I don't know that it's 2 seasons because we were playing good. I mean, we opened the season 0-3 on the road at Louisiana Tech, at Rice, and at North Texas. We could have won the Rice game and we could have won the North Texas. We were playing good, but it's hard to win. And with a young basketball team, we probably would have got our head down. But with a senior basketball team, they're used to, you know, they've been through it and they just stuck with what they do. And so I think it made us tougher.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks, Coach.
We have Marshall head coach Dan D'Antoni and student athletes John Elmore and Jansen Williams. And at this time, we'll begin with an opening statement from Coach.
Well, other than being on the losing end, that was a hell of a ball game. Doc's team did extremely well. you shoot the numbers he shot. And although we don't have a rim protector, which hurts us some, but we still apply a lot of defense to him, and they shot the ball extremely well. And, it was a high caliber game. It was as good as you can get offensively, basketball-wise. It's tough for us. We wanted to certainly repeat and do what we did last year, but we had a great run, and John had a great game. CJ and CJ and CT and Rondale as a senior group, before we had accomplished a lot. 10 days from now, we'll look better, more toward what we did and what we didn't quite get done. And that's part of coaching, man. You get over the hump, and then they'll go on about living. But it was a great game. Fan base should have really, anybody like basketball enjoyed that game.
Questions for our student athletes?
John, talk a little bit about your last game, regular season game or tournament game here, conference tournament game, and what do you think your legacy is, and what have you left behind, and what's your hope for the program going forward?
It's emotional. That hurts. I know I cried in the locker room. I'm very appreciative just to my family, Coach D'Antoni, the program, the fans, everybody that's kind of supported us throughout my time here. Where we started 5 years ago when I enrolled in Marshall, nobody knew who we were. Nobody came to the games. We got beat by 30, 40. It wasn't fun. Players didn't like each other. You couldn't leave anything in the locker room because it might get stolen. But now you look at it, we won a championship last year, hung a banner. It's been a fun ride, man. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Just very lucky to be in this position and have Coach have my back every day. So, legacy-wise, my goal when I got to Marshall, I told Coach, I said, I want to win the championship, man. I want to go to the NCAA tournament. That's what we did. All the individual stuff, I never really worried about it, just because I'm a team guy. I want to win every game. And as you can see, I'm an emotional guy. I wear my heart on my sleeve, so it was tough losing like that. But we had a heck of a run, and hopefully these young guys will pick it up and keep fighting and have that heart every day like I did and keep moving forward.
Jansen, talk a little bit about tonight's game. Seemed like you guys, it was back and forth, and it was a real close game till the last few minutes there. They got on a little bit of a run. What happened during that little stretch where they were able to extend that lead a little bit and force you guys into trying to catch up?
Well, like Coach said, it was a great ball game. If you're a fan of basketball, you love the game. They're a great team. They're coached by a great coach. They did out-rebound us. We needed to hit the boards a little bit harder, and they made their shots. But we did too. That's why it was a great ball game.
All right, we'll let John and Jansen go back to the locker room, and we will continue with questions for Coach.
Dan, obviously, one of the best kids to ever play for your program is just walked out the door. What's it going to be like for Marshall basketball post John Elmore?
Well, it's amazing to me. I think he led Conference USA, all-time leading scorer, all-time leading assist guy, and never Player of the Year. That goes right over top. But what it means is it's going to be hard over timeouts to figure out what the hell I'm going to do next play. John's not only a player, he helps coach, and he's wise as far as how we run our system. He's a coach on the floor. He's been a leader in the community. He's an academician. Going to make a good citizen, and his success in life just starting. He'll do more. And what I've always found when I thought my best players have left me, somebody else will accept that challenge and come back. And we have them sitting there waiting. They wanna prove that. You know, it used to be, I want to be like, I want to be like Mike was. I want to be like John. Pretty soon, that one, somebody will be like John. They'll come, and Marshall basketball's in a good place. We, outside Rondell and CJ and John, who put in a lot of time, the rest of them were freshmen, sophomores, and we've got 3 sitting out this year that feel that backcourt need that we have, and what's good about when you have a guy like John is that he'll support the program for the rest of his life. He's the type of person that'll do that. So, you know, I miss him as a player, but I know he'll always be connected to us. So, you know, we'll benefit from him playing not just these 4 years, but on down the road for many more. The things that he's given, just raised the bar and said, look, can't play at this level anymore. Got to play at this level. So, you know, my hat's off, whole family, his dad and mom, been terrific and supportive of the program. So I don't know what else more you can say. Sometimes you run out of words. I mean, you just look at his stats, and you don't have to say anything. And he's not only, you know, a lot of people say, well, he's a scorer and assist. He's a rebounder. He's one of the better steal people in the league. He's one of the best all-time competitors there is, you know. So plays the way we play. We sometimes a little herky and jerky, and we're wild. But you know, it's, hell, we live in a state that's wild and wonderful. Right? So we just play that way. So we'll be back playing another version of the Wild and Wonderful.
In a game that's that close and really goes down to the wire, are there a few plays in your mind?
No, I can tell you exactly what they were. One, we were down 2, and they were running a little weave, and we screwed up. Number 11 slid over to the side, got a wide open 3, and you know that can't happen. That kid makes almost every shot he's made, shoots. So big mistake there, and then we missed a layup and out of bounds one time. We got that little lead with about 4 minutes. I think we were up 4, maybe 4 points, and maybe it was exhaustion. We were running. We were actually running and cutting and getting into picks and rolls and penetrating, and the ball was going 2 or 3 times. We were getting wide open look. And we hit a lull in there for about 2 minutes, and we couldn't get that same movement no matter. It's funny, you know, you can say all you want from the sideline, but sometimes things just don't happen for some reason. So we didn't get the same movement, but I thought the 3 plays really out of bounds, layup and a miscommunications on that 3 took.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate it.